So this week there was an announcement of a Cyberpunk 2077 Xbox One X limited edition console. I'm so glad I got that console name right. And that kind of raises the question, what do you think of limited edition consoles? Let's roll the intro and find out. So before we get started, let me remind everyone that I stream every Tuesday and Friday on Twitch. All the links are down below. We are having a Minecraft build competition on Friday, so that should be loads of fun. So make sure to jump over using the links in the description and drop me a follow. And also make sure to get subscribed if you aren't already. So for anybody that doesn't know what Community Day is, it's one day every single week where I post a poll to the community tab on YouTube and we go through the results and see exactly what you guys have to say on the latest Xbox topics. So this week's poll was about limited edition consoles, which I asked, with the announcement of the Cyberpunk 2077 Xbox One X console, what are your thoughts or approach to limited edition consoles? And honestly, I think this is probably one of the most split polls that I've ever seen. This is clearly a controversial topic when it comes to buying consoles. The narrow victor here were people saying that they don't like missing out, but they just don't buy limited edition consoles at all. And just behind them we had the polar opposite response of, I love them, I'd pick up a limited edition console even if I already own the console. But as always, the truth is in the comments, so let's dive down and see exactly what you guys had to say. So the first comment in this week's Community Day video is by 8bog, who said, I like limited edition consoles, but I don't buy them if I already have a regular edition. If the regular one breaks and I need to get a new one, then I'll buy a limited edition console. See, this is exactly my approach to buying consoles for the most part. If a limited edition console is available and I really like it, I'll buy it, but only if I need the console. It's different with games where maybe you could pick up a collector's edition alongside a regular edition. If they're both like really cheap, traded in, and it's not really gonna break the bank too much, you could probably make that decision fairly easy. But when it comes to consoles, they're pretty expensive machines and you want to make sure you're getting the most for your money, and buying a second console just because it looks a certain way is kind of a hard sell over buying more games for a console that you already have. Now, as you say, if your console were to break, then all bets are off. You need to get a new one anyway, so you may as well get something shiny and spectacular and wonderful, and some of those limited edition consoles are beautiful. But I completely agree, limited edition consoles are nice, but whenever you already have the console, it can sometimes be a bit of a tough sell. The second comment this week comes from Gernaldinho Plays, who said, I would only be tempted by a limited edition console if it was from an already established franchise that I was a big fan of. Buying a console for a new game with no previous installments would have a gamble element. Yes, Cyberpunk 2077 looks awesome and stunning, but what if it turns out you don't like it as much as you thought you would? You might then regret having a console design dedicated to it. I think that this is a massive can of worms, and you're honestly the only person that I've heard actually mention this when it comes to limited edition consoles. A lot of the time, a lot of people who are interested in limited edition consoles are generally, yes, interested in the franchise themselves. For example, one of the limited edition consoles that I own is the Pokemon N64, but that came out at a time whenever Pokemon was an already established franchise, so I knew I was gonna like having a nice Pikachu N64 with little light up cheeks. Oh, it's so cute. However, what you're saying is totally true. With Cyberpunk 2077, yes, we've seen all the hype, and there was a lot of gameplay shown off that we've been kind of fed over the last maybe year or so, but ultimately it comes down to none of us know whether or not this game is going to be any good, and even if the game is good, there's no guarantee that any of us are going to like it. So if I was to drop serious money on an Xbox One X these days that's skinned to look like Cyberpunk 2077 and I didn't like the game, that would really suck to have to look at that all the time and be like, oh, that game is awful, I can't believe I have that sitting there. I would probably end up just trading it on off a different console, maybe the Minecraft Xbox One S. That thing's so nice, it's like a dirt block, it's so cool. So I think that anybody that's in the market for a limited edition console, especially if it's going to be your only one of that console, you would probably do well to think about this before you go ahead and buy one. The hype can be big surrounding a new console, but that's the reason the console exists, is to keep that hype high. But if the game isn't worth it, then it can just stand as a reminder as to how much you didn't like that game. Anyways, the third comment this week comes from M. Hitch, who bravely added another option onto the poll, that was bold, and said, Option 5 for me, I really like this new Cyberpunk 1X, but I can't justify buying another Xbox One so close to the Series X launch. Now this is a fantastic point. It's one thing trying to sell me a Minecraft Xbox One S, I really want one so bad, in the middle of a console generation, whenever it's still the shiny new console, it's the one that everybody wants to buy, it's still culturally relevant, it's still not going to be replaced for years to come. That is a lot of reasons why that you could jump on a limited edition console and feel good about it. However, at this stage of the game, I would imagine that a lot of people are probably setting their sights forward to the Xbox Series X and are probably already putting away some money towards picking up the new console, because we all know that thing's going to be super expensive on launch. So investing now in a limited edition console based on a game that isn't out yet just before a brand new console gets launched, that is a bit of a tough sell. Now, I personally think that the controller is the nice part of this. If they sold it separately, I'd probably buy it. But even if you did make the decision to pick up a limited edition console at this stage now, it's going to be an even tougher sell because the Series X is right around the corner. So would the money be better spent put towards a Series X, or would you want to pick up the Xbox One X on top of maybe getting a new console in a few months? There's just a lot of variables at the moment, and coming up to the end of a console life cycle just adds so many more. And the final comment this week comes from Mike Simcoe, who summarized brilliantly when he said, "When I buy the Series X, I'll get a limited edition if it's the same price and I like the game and look. If they're more expensive, I probably won't bother, and as another comment said above, I wouldn't get a second console unless my original broke. I'm not really a collector, it's all about the games for me." This is a perfect summary of everything that we've been mentioning today. When the Series X comes out, some people aren't going to buy it at launch, and if you wait maybe a few months to a year, I'd imagine a limited edition version will come out, and if it's the same price and you like the game, then I think that that only adds to the novelty of buying a new console. Having it be a second console, as we've mentioned, is a bit of a tough sell. However, if it's your first one and the price is right, then it's gonna just make that new console feeling all that much sweeter. Because, as you mentioned, not everyone are collectors. A lot of people just care about the games, and the money that you're spending extra maybe on a limited edition console could be better spent on a game for a non-limited version of the console. So thank you to everyone who commented on this week's poll. As always, I post a poll every Monday and make one of these videos every Wednesday so that we can all keep up to date as to what we think on the latest piece of Xbox news. So what do I think of limited edition consoles? Personally, I kind of like them just as a novelty. I don't really get a fear of missing out with any of these consoles unless you are the Minecraft Xbox Series S. Oh, I want one so bad. I want the wee peg controller as well because it's pink and it's adorable. But ultimately, I'm lucky in that I don't really get that much of a fear of missing out. If I had a console break and I was in the market for a new one and I could get a limited edition console at a good price, I'd probably end up picking it up, again, if I liked the game. There are some games that I like Resident Evil 5 that had limited edition versions that I don't like, and there are also some games that I maybe haven't played that have limited edition consoles that I think look pretty cool. Ultimately, I think it comes down to everybody's individual tastes, and I think that opportunity plays into this a lot. If you're a collector, then obviously your motivations are a lot different. You'd probably be going out and trying to pick up consoles on good deals, trying to save yourself some money here and there, and that's all part of the goal of collecting. But I think for the everyman who's playing their Xbox and trying to play more games than have more systems, I think that limited edition consoles are more of a way of converting people into buying their first system rather than actually going out and getting into system collecting. But anyways, thanks everybody for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, as I mentioned at the start of this video, I stream every Tuesday and Friday on Twitch. This weekend we're doing some Minecraft, and then next week I don't know what we're doing, but that's the beauty of it. We play multiplayer games all the time, so if there's anything you want to see played, let me know down below. And also, if you want to support the channel, I've left a bunch of affiliate links down in the description that you can go in and buy things on Amazon, renew your gold, renew your Game Pass, and it's all at the same price to you, and a small kickback goes to the channel. So thank you very much for anybody who's considering using those links in the future. And as always, I want to thank my contributors to the channel, Jake McBoss, Inja Panda, and Flamed Beacon, who used the join button down below on YouTube or the subscribe button over on Twitch. Thank you guys so much, I really appreciate it. Anyways, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.